We are back. Today, this is a 2-day-old tournament. I am late for it, but in my defense, I was playing in it, so I get to be late. Today, we're covering the biggest Regulation H tournament that has been held so far. We're going to go over the results of it, talk about what we've noticed, some metagame trends. Is rain good? Is rain bad? Rain dominated the last tournament. And yeah, we're just going to talk about the results of it. I'll talk about my team briefly. I will be releasing a video on the main channel going over my tournament run because I had a pretty decent run. It was a good time. But yeah, let's get into it. If you guys enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications, comment down below what you guys want to see next, what Pokemon you think are going to be great, and GamerSupps ad. I'll see you in 20 seconds. Bam. This channel is partnered with GamerSupps. If you want to support my work and get great tasting drinks, you can order GamerSupps through my link in the description down below or with code Moxie boosted at checkout for 10% off. GamerSupps is a caffeinated product that I recommend only to my 18+ viewers, but my link will send you to their caffeine-free product section just in case. Every product purchased through my link supports my channel financially, so I'd really appreciate the support. Now back to the video. Okay, we're back. If you didn't know, if you double tap, or I think if you tap 3 times on your screen, you skip that whole thing, you know, easy. But I like to remind people, you know, you buy GamerSupps, you feed me. All right, so the results of this tournament. I guess we should talk about the basics really quick. Regulation H, you are not allowed to use legendaries. That's like the only rule. And everything in the game is legal other than legendaries. Oh, my voice just cracked for the first time in years. So this tournament was pretty interesting. It was live streamed on Himmy Turner's Twitch channel. It was open team sheet. However, it was best of 1 for the first 9 rounds, and then it went to a single elimination best of 3 bracket. That was basically it. First place was $500, second place was $200, and then third and fourth were $150. The results of the tournament were pretty cool. We take a look. In top 16, well, it was top 32 cut, so we'll look at all of top cut, but we'll spend a little bit more time at the higher stuff. The winner of the tournament was Mouse Ape. Now, this was Cinchi. They were running safety goggles, mouse hold with friend guard, of course, Terra Ghost, beat up, taunt, follow me, protect. They had an Archaldon with stamina, which you can go ahead and beat that up. It'll give it a defense boost, make its body presses hit like a truck. And of course, you have Annihilate with Terra Water. Now, Terra Water is definitely like Terra Water or Terra Fire. I think I'm going to go with Terra Water. Is probably the best Terra for Annihilate in this format. And that's mainly because the best way to deal with Mouse Ape, if they don't have a good defensive Terra, is Choice Specs Golden Go with like Talonflame Tailwind or any kind of fast Tailwind, because that will allow you to immediately boost your speed and hit them with a move that is frankly a little bit difficult to survive. Choice Specs Terra Steel Make It Rain is a little bit of a ridiculous move coming off of Golden Go's like what, base 131 special attack stat. Mousehold, of course, is able to decrease the damage of its partners using Friend Guard. It cuts to 3/4, and you can side target that beat up into Annihilate to give it a, I believe, 250 or 300 base power Rage Fist. I forget. I believe it's 250. Yeah. And you have Bulk Up, Drain Punch. It's just a difficult Pokemon to deal with. Incineroar is a staple of the format, of course. Terra Grass to block Spore from Amoonguss. We have Rocky Helmet Sinistcha for speed control, as well as redirection, and an ability to heal up Annihilate with Hospitality, or Archaldon as well. And of course, Focus Sash, Drizzle Pelipper to allow for the Archaldon to go for its Electro Shots. This team is annoying. I don't like it. I think it's annoying. But it was pretty cool. I mean, like, Mouse Ape winning the first largest tournament is pretty interesting. We do see, I think this is Archaldon's format. Archaldon is really good. We see Brady Smith in second place, running another rain team. We have Pelipper Archaldon. It's once again a stamina body press set with Focus Sash Pelipper. We have Regenerator, Citrus Berry, Amoonguss, Incineroar, Grimmsnarl, and Golden Go. I would say this is like pretty indicative of like your standard rain team you're going to see in this format. Only thing is sometimes you'll see, actually not really, Grimmsnarl is not terribly standard, but it is really nice for Golden Go. It makes it easier for you to set up nasty plots and then go for Make It Rain. But I think that like usually the Grimmsnarl is going to be dropped for either a Palafin or a Basket Legion. But like if you were to drop it for that, this is like your standard rain team. This is what you can expect to see in the format, and it's super solid, as you can tell. It went all the way up here. Mancuso actually made it to third, which is cool because he hasn't played in a while, from what I could tell. Or he has played, but like he hasn't. I haven't seen him like up here in a minute. He's a really good player though, obviously. But we see once again Mouse Ape. This one actually being paired with a Primarina and a Covert Cloak Hydreigon. Now, what I find really interesting about this is that the Hydreigon is the Tailwind user, and that's a pretty interesting choice for Tailwind users. Um, it has an advantage in that Covert Cloak Tailwind with a Dark typing makes it so you can't be taunted or faked out. Taunted at least by Prankster Pokemon. Faster taunt users that aren't Prankster, like Talonflame, will be able to taunt you. But that is the main form of speed control. Covert Cloak Hydreigon's an interesting pick because usually you see Scope Lens Hydreigon to go for Focus Energy and crit Draco Meteors. That's like a really good Dondozo matchup. We see Life Orb, Blood Moon, Ursaluna, Assault Vest, Rillaboom, and Primarina. Now, Primarina is a really cool pick because Hydreigon is usually the Dondozo answer on these teams with its crit set. But because this Hydreigon isn't running the crit set, the Primarina is actually the answer with Haze on it and Terra Poison. So that's pretty cool. Primarina is actually a pretty underrated Pokemon in the format that I think is going to end up being really solid. It tended to struggle in previous formats just due to the existence of like Raging Bolt and Urshifu being just a better water type, even if it is a completely different role. You know, doubling down on water types isn't too common. So Primarina probably actually finally has a place in the metagame. We see Sempra. Can we point out that like everything, like it's mostly Rain at the top. Rain is still super good. I don't think it's going to stay that good, but it's definitely like a really solid option. But Sempra is at 4th. And we'll cover him in 5th place, FBI Surveillance Man. This person actually knocked me out of the tournament. I lost to them in top 16. But Basque Legion, King Gambit. This is once again pretty standard Rain team. You have your Amoonguss, your Pelipper, your Archaludon, your Incineroar, your Swift Swim user, and then a Dark type. King Gambit's a really good option in this format, mainly because Incineroar's everywhere. And you also have Amoonguss Redirection and Urshifu's gone, so fighting types aren't as omnipresent. It makes it a lot easier to go for this Black Glasses Terra Dark set that we used to see back in Regulation C and even Regulation B. It's really easy to set up that Swords Dance with the Redirection and then just absolutely nuke things with that ridiculous Terra Dark Black Glasses Katao Cleave, as well as Sucker Punch. And then the rest of this, Choice Band Basque Legion with Swift Swim. This is like a pretty standard This is a pretty standard couple of Pokemon. We've already seen this. We don't have to discuss it too much more. FBI Surveillance Man ran a pretty similar team. The only thing is, over the Incineroar, they had a Salamence, which is really cool. Choice Scarf Salamence is certainly an interesting option. Choice Scarf is really nice because not only are you an Intimidate user, but also you are among the fastest Pokemon in the metagame, since base 100 with the Scarf is going to outspeed basically everything in the game. Hurricane, Draco Meteor, Air Slash, Tailwind. That rain boosted Hurricane is really cool. The Pelipper Salamence combo actually reminds me of like early Regulation A stuff, because I believe we saw that go really deep into a tournament. We have Emmy Lava Burst with a Comfey Annihilate team, as well as a really interesting choice in Salazzle with Poison Gas and Corrosion. That allows them to poison literally everything on the field, even poison and steel types. And that obviously is really good with Comfey healing up the Annihilate, which is weakness policy. You know, you can side Draining Kiss. Terra Dragon is also really cool because you resist grass moves. You don't have to worry about like Woodhammer or whatever, while still being weak to the Fairy move. You're going to get yourself +2 as well as a base 100 Rage Fist. So that's really awesome. You also have priority on healing, speed control, Trick Room. We have Azumarill with Mouse Hold and stuff, and Scope Lens Hydreigon. So really awesome. Also, Dragon Cheer and the Salazzle is a really cool combo for the Hydreigon. It makes it so the Hydreigon itself doesn't actually really need to click Focus Energy. You can actually turn one, go for Dragon Cheer, Draco Meteor, and have that guaranteed crit. Next up, we see a pretty interesting Clefable Golden Go team along with a Paldean Tauros. Clefable is a pretty cool pick this format, mainly because it is kind of a Dondozo answer. Being an unaware user itself that hits with special attacks means that Clefable is going to ignore all the offensive boosts from Dondozo, as well as, you know, when it's taking attacks, it's going to ignore all of that. Moonblast, Thunderwave. Thunderwave's good speed control. You also have Redirection for Golden Go to set up Nasty Plot, and that Draco Meteor Focus Energy set for the Hydreigon. We have a setup Volcarona and a Paldean Tauros with the Clear Amulet. This is pretty cool. This is like a very setup heavy team with Clefable as like the sort of like the central piece. This is the one that interested me a lot. This is a Garganacl. Garganacl is a really cool Pokemon in this format. Purifying Salt, Terra Poison. So as a highly defensive Pokemon that can Terra to lose its fighting weakness, as well as having, you know, a ghost resistance because of Purifying Salt, it's actually really solid into Annihilate. You're going to be able to eat that hit up pretty well and go for a Salt Cure into it, which will slowly wear it down. And I mean, obviously you can go for like Drain Punch and stuff, but like that passive damage while not having to worry about Like getting that passive damage on it while not having to worry about giving Rage Fist any more power is really nice. But also Garganacl is just like a really good Pokemon into Golden Go. Golden Go gets hard walled by it if you're running Terra Water. This one's Terra Poison, so it's still fine because it has Wide Guard. But Golden Go drops in 4 turns because of the Salt Cure, dealing double damage to Steel types. And also Garganacl is going to be really solid into Palafin because it is a super defensive Pokemon. You're able to fake it out. Once again, Palafin will drop in 4 turns. The Hisuian Zoroark's the really cool part about this. We see Focus Sash, Terra Stellar, Terra Blast with Bitter Malice and Nasty Plot and Protect. I don't know how I feel about Terra Stellar, Terra Blast. It's kind of cool that it's going to hit, you know, Terra'd Pokemon for super effective damage. And you can use it reactively, I guess, since it is a Hisuian Zoroark. It's going to be disguised as another Pokemon. But I don't know, like losing your special attack, like having to take like a Draco Meteor drop every time you use it doesn't seem worth it for me. But it is really cool tech, and it went pretty deep into the tournament. Speeding up a little bit because this is outside of top 8. KC, VGC, we already went over that one. We see more like Mouse Ape Golden Go. We already know how that does. We do see the Mouse Hold Palafin Rain team with Dragonite. This is actually pretty interesting. These 4 you see a lot together: Golden Go, Palafin, Pelipper, and Amoonguss. Mousehold Annihilate's usually like the filler slot there, but putting Dragonite's really cool. Dragonite is certainly a Pokemon that I think should be used a little bit more in this format. This is an Assault Vest set rather than a Choice Band set, and I think that is the right call. You don't really want to have to lock into Extreme Speed in a format where Golden Go's #1 and Terra Ghost is a really solid option on things like Incineroar. So this is pretty cool. Also, being able to use like Super Fang plus Low Kick or Terra Blast with your Dragonite makes it pretty easy to like score KOs in a lot of Pokemon, so I like that quite a bit. Next up, we have Hisuian Decidueye, and I'm going to throw this out there. I know this person top cut with it before I did, but Hisuian Decidueye has been in the builder for me since the format dropped. Where are you? Where are you? Here it is. This is my Hisuian Decidueye team I built day 1. I think this guy's got sauce. I called Jody to tell him about it, and he laughed at me on stream, but it's a really cool Pokemon. It's got an interesting niche in the metagame in that it's immune to Intimidate because of Scrappy. If you run Scope Lens, Triple Arrows, Leaf Blade, you have a 50% chance to crit on each turn, which makes these moves hit like a truck. That means that it's a pseudo check to Dondozo while also being a pretty hard check to Golden Go if you have Tailwind up, since Scrappy allows you to triple arrows into it and hit it for super effective damage despite being a ghost type. So that's really cool. I like this team quite a bit. I think this is really cool. We do see the Hydreigon Gashadon stuff as well. Choice specs Hydreigon over the crit set. That makes sense since the crit Pokemon is the Hisuian Decidueye. We also see Upper Hand to block Fake Out, which I like quite a bit. That's really useful next to the Talonflame, so you don't have to burn Terra all the time. Threat Spray Primarina, Gashadon with Safety Goggles, Terra Normal Storm Drain, and a setup Golden Go. You know, that's to be expected. Pretty cool. Next up is this handsome dude at 12th place, Moxie Boosted. This is a team that I'm gonna do a full breakdown of it in a video on the main channel, but the gist of what I was running was a rain team that had a setup option and also a screw you, I'm hitting you with choice specs or Terra Water Jet Punch in rain. Like, basically, Assault Vest Rillaboom allows for me to go for Fake Out turn 1 next to Chestnut. Chestnut is going to be able to go for a Belly Drum, get up to +6, eat its Citrus Berry, and get a little bit of Grassy Terrain recovery. And from that point on, because Grassy Terrain's active on the field, I'm able to spam Grassy Glide for max damage, or for a ton of damage, and also click Drain Punch to heal off anything, any damage I might have taken beforehand, which is really cool because Chestnut is a very bulky Pokemon. It's really difficult to knock out. It actually has solid defenses. Let me pull this up. I might as well just pull up the team since I have the full thing. Yeah, it's got really solid defenses. I invested quite a bit in the HP. I only invested a bit into attack because if you're boosting it, you don't really need it. Terra Fire is a really good Terra for it as well because Golden Go is #1 in the format right now. Terra Fire allows you to resist Make It Rain, and the ability Bulletproof makes you immune to Shadow Ball as well as other moves that Chestnut would normally be weak to, like Sludge Bomb. Not Moonblast though. It'd be so cool if it blocked Moonblast, but no, it doesn't. The original version had a Porygon 2 on it. I dropped it for Palafin at the last second because I realized I'd be facing a lot of Dondozo. And I was right. I faced like 3 or 4 Dondozo this whole tournament. Unfortunately, I had a team sheet error. My Pelipper was Terra Water. It was supposed to be Terra Ghost, but on the team sheet it was Terra Water. So round 9, I took an extra loss, and then I was stuck running Terra Water for the rest of the tournament. So that kind of sucked. But really deep run. Chestnut's really cool. Beyond that, it's a pretty standard Rain team. We see Basque Legion, Rain offense with a Gengar. I'm assuming it's going to be Icy Wind Gengar. Focus Sash. No, Perish Song. This is a Perish Trap team. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I guess like Hyper Offense, Choice Band Basque Legion with Rain. And then like 2 Perish Song users is pretty solid. You just get 2 Pokemon to get KO'd and then go into your defensive units and just win off of that. We have our first Dondozo. This is Mars VGC. It's just standard Dondozo. I mean, it's got Revival Blessing. You know how Dondozo works. There's nothing terribly special. I'm pretty sure I faced a few of these during the tournament. But yeah, so let's see what else we got here. We have Hisuian Decidueye on Sand is pretty notable. There's a Sylveon Indeedee team. What's that Indeedee? That is Indeedee male with Twisted Spoon and Expanding Force. That's pretty cool. Like Indeedee male is actually a pretty solid Psychic type this format because it's 95 base speed. That is actually a fairly high speed tier. You're able to block Trick Room with Imprison as well, set up for yourself if you really want to. And since you have a good special attack stat, Expanding Force hits pretty hard. Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam hits decently hard. And yeah, this is just really interesting. I like this team. What else do we have? Joe UX9 here at 17th with a Hydreigon Sylveon team. Joe was my only loss in Swiss that wasn't due to a team sheet error. Leftover Sylveon, Calm Mind Substitute. Scopeland's Hydreigon's a pain to deal with. Palafin. This is just like, this is good stuff. This is Palafin balance for this format. Sylveon, I don't think is gonna be like that great in the long run, but Hydreigon, Palafin, Rillaboom, and Cinnamoromungus. The rule of this format is if it looks cool, it's probably good at the game. But yeah, we'll just speed run the rest of this because we don't really have time to go through all 32 of these teams. I can just kind of briefly mention like some trends we see. Mouseape is everywhere. We did have a we did have a Muck Smeargle get top 32, which I mean, it's Muck Smeargle. It was playing best of 1. It didn't make it past best of 3. That's pretty par for the course. You know, Muck Smeargle is a best of 1 cheese gimmick that relies on you getting a lot of luck with minimize and you know, just not getting hit. Flamigo in the end game is able to like copy all the boosts from the Muck that takes Power of Alchemy Moody. And yeah, it's just, you know, it's pretty telling that it made it to like top 32, and then as soon as it had to play a best of 3, it didn't make it through. That's basically how Muck Smeargle works. It's very much like a ladder strategy, so that doesn't surprise me too much. I'm sure Andre's a good player though. I'm just talking about like the archetype itself. But yeah, and then we just see a couple of other things that we saw from the previous tournament. We see a lot of Rain, we see a lot of Dondozo. Actually, not a lot of Dondozo. Most Dondozo didn't even top cut. And do you want to know why? Because everyone knows how to beat Dondozo now. I had to face like 3 of them. It was so annoying. But yeah, that's it. There's a couple of other things. I mean, like as soon as we get out of top 32, it's not too worth discussing because it didn't really do that great in the tournament. It did, you know, fine. But like if we get out of top 32, then we're no longer talking about Pokemon that had the best of 3. So it's not going to be too reflective of what we might see at Baltimore Regionals. But yeah, those are my thoughts on everything we saw at the biggest Regulation H tournament so far. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.